Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Bear and I'm here to carve a pumpkin. That's right. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote in the chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you're not a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes if you want to. Harold's here, who's also hosting the stream. Thank you for hosting, Harold. Thank you for throwing those emotes in. Appreciate it. But yeah, throw those emotes in. Let me know you're here. Just say hi or what's up, whatever. We're currently at 49 out of 50 subscribers. We would like to get to 50. If we can't, that's okay. If we can, that would be great. If we can get over 50, that'd be rad too. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. Lord Crashington is here. Hello, Lord Crashington. Yeah, as I said, it is a pumpkin carving night. So, even though we have the AE86 from Initial D that needs to be panel lined and it needs some water slide decals applied to it, we're not doing that tonight. We got a pumpkin and we're carving that pumpkin. That'll be on Thursday, and then the Destiny Gundam, I forgot the name of it for a second. The Destiny Gundam we will work on, and that will be also on Thursday. Before I even get into it, reminder, Jackbox stream this Wednesday, Jackbox Party Pack 8. We're starting with the new one. We're going to play Jackbox Party Pack 8 and try out some of them. Several games that we will check out, of the 5 included. Looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to this. I have carved big pumpkins. I have carved tiny pumpkins. They have Gundams and Destiny. I mean, I know you're joking, Harold, but they don't. They do have some robot stuff. They got some mecha, but no, they don't got Gundams in that. In fact, the sequel to Gundam Seed is called Gundam Seed Destiny, which predates the video game Destiny. Although I'm sure the word Destiny appears somewhere in like lore or before that. Who knows? I don't know. Ask me anything about Destiny, and I can tell you very little in response. Um, I hope everyone's doing well tonight. I also hope that more people come and check out the stream because it is pumpkin carving stream. I was wondering, was this too early in the month? Should I have done it next Monday? But it was like, no, I want to enjoy my pumpkin. That would have only been a week. I want to get like 2 weeks before Halloween of this pumpkin, and it just got cooler here in South Carolina, so it won't rot immediately when I put it outside, which is great. That Gunpla came from the moon. I mean, look, there is a moon gun, but we did build the moon Gundam, so you're not that wrong. And also, several Gundam have been found on a moon, hiding on that moon, buried on that moon. It is kind of a thing. There are moon people. There are people that lived on the moon, hid there. Whole lot of moon stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna go retweet my tweet, and then we're gonna get into some pumpkin carving. I'm gonna talk to you about the pumpkin carving and all that. I'm gonna retweet my tweet there saying that it's carving time. I did announce via Twitter when I said, "Hey, I'm going live." That what we will be doing tonight. There's also that big games journalist trivia thing going on right now. Okay. Oh yeah, there's that. Whatever. Some of those people aren't even games journalists anymore. Like a couple of them, not a lot of them. Whatever. Yeah, there are other things happening, but that's okay. Whatever. What I did want to say is, hey, check out my pumpkin and check out what I'm going to be making. It's Bowser. I'm doing one of them stencils. I got a stencil. It's right here. Here's my stencil. It's Bowser. And I could probably beat all of them. Yeah, who knows? Finally get out of the timeout. Oh yeah. It's Bowser. We're putting Bowser on a pumpkin. I got Bowser on this pumpkin. I'm gonna put it right there. It's big Bowser face. So this is oh no, it's not a Doug Bowser, Lashbrook. No, it's not a Doug Bowser. It is Bowser the character. So what am I doing here? So I already cut this out kind of out of the paper that I printed it on. And then I put a bunch of notches in here, some small, some big, because this is not a flat surface, obviously. So we are going to have to, via tape and kind of folding and making some other cuts, we're going to get this onto the shape we want it on, and then try to get it as flat as possible. Now, you can get some pumpkin carving tools that will make this the next step that we have to do after that way easier, which is you just do all these little dots around the paper. You get all these little dots, and then you go in and you do and then you just connect the dots and you carve it. And that's a great way to do things with cuts. We're not going to do that. We are going to use an X-Acto knife to do small okay. We're going to do that to make some small cuts. We're not going deep with it. We're just going to make some cuts in the surface so that we can then go later in and do a bigger cut. Because when you are doing something like this, when you are going deep into it, when you're taking huge sections like we are out of here, and this piece and this piece and this piece are connecting part of it that we're not going to cut out. What you don't want to do is put a lot of pressure on the front of it while you're cutting. I'll try to be very clear about that. The integrity of our pumpkin, especially because we are going to cut this and get the guts out, the top and the guts first. We want to make sure that we are not putting, like, I'm not going to put my hand like this while there's huge sections cut out and press on it, because I don't want any of these chunks to fall through, because I don't know how to fix that. So I will just be making small little cuts along all of our pieces that need to get cut out, so that I can, when I remove, see the outline of those faces and then start removing them kind of systematically. I'll do these smaller like the eyes and the eyebrow, you know, the head, top of the head, the mouth, and then do the larger sections last. And hopefully that's going to work out, because I have never done this. This is me trying to figure this shit out. But first things first, we gotta start scooping pumpkin guts out of this. We gotta do the pumpkin guts first. Look, Bowser is a classic character, and I was looking for fun stencils, and this is one that showed up as a possibility. Disembowelment time, indeed. This was a possibility that I liked. Did I think about trying to do like the Wing Gundam face or the Death Scythe face? Yeah, but that seems it's not impossible. If I could do the trick that people do where they actually just don't cut all the way through the pumpkin and they just kind of like I don't have that skill. I can't do that shit. I can't do like a half layer cut. Like, I'm not skilled at that. That is not in my wheelhouse. Maybe it could be, but I don't believe it is. So I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to do what I can and what I think I can. So we went with Bowser. Maybe I will get comfortable, and maybe someday I'll just get a fucking pumpkin and try it and try to do like something very detailed. But yes, we are doing a Bowser pumpkin. It is Bowser time. Forget Mario time. It's Bowser time. So I'm gonna make the top here a little small, I think, because I do want to have a lot of clearance, because I'm not sure exactly where Bowser's going to go until I carve the top of this. So we're not going to go too deep with this. It's going to be a little bit of a shallow pumpkin top. And these are never perfect. You know, it's never going to be exactly right, because no pumpkin is perfect. But I am going to have, I think, there are a couple things I don't want. Last year, you may remember if you watched the stream, our pumpkin's mouth was so close to the bottom that it didn't look right. It didn't look right and didn't feel right. And I think my top was went down too much. I like taking too much off. So I'm liking this. I've used a Sharpie along that. I'm feeling pretty good about that. We'll get the top off. Now, we are going to use an X-Acto knife at first. And here's the thing. This X-Acto blade that I'm using, this is the last time I'll use this particular blade, because it's going to have pumpkin guts on it, and I'll clean it, but I don't need, I have spare blades. So this is going to be the finale of this blade. We're saying goodbye to this blade. And then I have another knife that is a deeper knife that is not necessarily super sharp. It doesn't need to be super sharp, but it's strong. So we're using that blade. And I got a big spoon. Gonna have to wash out the whole thing, I bet. Yes, I will be cleaning all of my instruments that I use in other things. This is the one I primarily use this my X-Acto blade, and I will be using this on Thursday to uh, uh, what am I doing on Thursday? Oh, on Thursday I'll be using this on the A86. So already, this is already popping out, which is not great. So this here, I might just, instead of using the X-Acto knife for this, I might save the blade for my pumpkin and just use this knife here. I think I'm going to do that. So when you are doing the top of one of these, you want to cut outside of your line because you don't want to leave the Sharpie. You just don't want to leave the Sharpie. So either you want to cut it on the line or just outside of it. And you don't have to be perfect in these. I'm just doing some deep cuts here. I'm going to be going around it and kind of, so I can do some deep cuts. You don't have to be precise. If you miss, you can always come back. And I'm just making some cuts. I'm also going in on an angle when I do this. I'm not going like straight down. I'm going on an angle because what I don't want to have is this cave in on top. And sometimes that can happen. So by going in on an angle, we should be able to have remove the top, remove all the seeds, and the top should fit back on, especially if we make sure we don't scrape around here while we're scraping out the guts, which is, some say, it's some people's least favorite part of a pumpkin carving, and some people's most favorite part is the guts removal. Some people really love it. I tweeted about this today that this is the only stream where I on purpose get messy. So it is kind of fun to be like, yeah, I'm like, seeing what's up, and I don't worry about anything while I'm doing this. I'm just like having fun and like, oh yeah, I got a little messy and weird. That's okay. Who cares? Um, uh, Now, when I'm trying to do the removals, when we're trying to put Bowser on this thing, I am going to do my damnedest to not fuck up. But there's a lot of like, I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be precise. I don't have to be, what do you call it? I don't know. I can be a little sloppy, a little loose with my carving, and I'm not going to feel terrible about that. And that's kind of freeing, considering that, especially with the A86, I did not feel I had any leeway in that build. Lego, you can mess up, you can get back into Lego, you can fix your mistake, you can see what you did wrong. Model kits, I feel like sometimes there's a lot of fear involved with it, especially in the glue kit, which I'm not super practiced with these days. I can feel like, oh, I really fucked this up. So it's nice to just kind of like be like, no, I did okay. I didn't screw it up. I don't feel weird about it. I nailed it. All right, so we have now gotten this part here, so we can start going in. We don't want to, obviously we don't want to pull too hard because we don't want to break our handle, our stem, but I can pull back from it enough to see where I'm finding resistance, and I can use the knife to try to remove that resistance. My table is covered in newspaper, but under the newspaper is cardboard, which I don't think actually. There you go. No, I got several layers of newspaper. Whatever. There's cardboard under here. There's cardboard under here for one reason and one reason only. This table, if I'm putting a lot of pressure on the table, more so than normal. You're just going to rub newspaper print onto the table, which I did last year. And I did not enjoy that happened. And I had to really scrub the table to get that off. So I put a layer of cardboard there, and hopefully the cardboard isn't going to put stuff on the table. And if the cardboard gets newspaper print on it, who cares? That's fine. All right, so I did unfortunately get some Sharpie where I didn't cut, which I don't love, but we're going to be okay with that. We're choosing to be okay with that. All right. It's got to scrape this all off here. And there we go. There's our pumpkin. I'm going to cut off some of our lid here, get some of the pumpkin guts off of it, and good. And then and then we can find where our lid goes. Our lid goes. Oh, gotta find how to put the lid back on. Oh, there it goes. There's our lid. Our lid is back on. Great. And pull the lid off. And we can put the lid aside. And now it begins. Now that we have the lid off, and of course I've got my bag off camera where all of my all these guts go. People ask me just about every year when I do one of these. I get asked, "Are you going to save the seeds? Are you going to cook those seeds, throw them in the oven, roast those seeds?" And the answer to that is no. I'm not going to do that because I don't enjoy. I don't like pumpkin in anything. I don't like pumpkin pie. I really don't like pumpkin bread. I don't mind like pumpkin brownies too much, but I don't like pumpkin as in any way as a food. I'm not interested. So, and also, if somebody in my family was interested in these seeds, I would certainly save them. Last year, I made sure to ask. I said, like, hey, do you want these when I carve this pumpkin? And I was told, no, thank you. So you don't have to worry about that. I'm just getting a scrape in. Look, could I just reach my hand in here and grab a big thing? Yeah, I could. But I might as well get some scrapes in, see what we can do. No, dirty. So, one obvious one, I am not all about that pumpkin spice latte life or pumpkin spice at all. But two, obviously, the thing about pumpkin spice is it's just a bunch of spices. There's no pumpkin in it. But I'm also not about that. Um, because yeah, it's just the flavoring that people associate with pumpkin pie and other pumpkin products, and then they just put that in drinks, and that's cool and good for them. But that's not about me. I did consider for tonight wearing my headset microphone because where my mic is here could be troubling. But we're gonna be okay with that. I'm hopefully gonna be fine, and hopefully also I can avoid having to clean my microphone. That would be great if I can avoid that, but we'll see. All right, so I'm just throwing my knife in here, trying to make some big cuts, trying to get some scraping in here because the spoon is gonna do a lot of work with the scraping, but the knife can get some of this bigger stuff there, and then we're gonna do our first turn and dump. We're going to have several of these, but we'll get our first one in here before we start getting our scoop and dumps. Turn it. Everything's going to be messy, but what I'm trying to do is not like throw a bunch of shit on like just everywhere. Back of our pumpkin does not look particularly great visually. It's still a fine pumpkin. We don't have any rot or anything. We're fine. And also because I had this for a little while because I got it on sale, just to mess on the mic and deal with it. Yes, make a mess. Yeah, if I make a mess, I'll make a mess. The other thing about this is, what was I going to say? I got this a couple weeks ago, and so if we did have a problem where it rotted through, I would have seen it. I had this in a cool place in the corner of my kitchen. Where it did not get sunlight, which is great for this, and yeah, and that worked out well. So yeah, I'm just scooping out some pumpkin guts. I got paper towels over there, which I will get when I need, and we'll be jumping to the spoon in just a moment. It's spoon time, and yeah, I'm just going to now. I am just using my hand in here, and I am just scraping. Trying to get this pumpkin guts into a spot where I can then spoon it into the bag. What do y'all do? Do you do markers, or people do pumpkins? You like doing designs? Do you buy painted pumpkins? Let me know in the chat. Or do you buy pre-carved ones? Or do you have a plastic one you just throw a little light in and you're like, yeah, I got this plastic. thing, I don't worry about it. Or do you go through the whole? We get together, we get a bunch of pumpkins, the whole family does some carvings. Let me know. Let me know if you do, or you used to. You don't really do it anymore. Lord Crashton says, I don't engage with any of it. I hear you. It's not for everybody. I've always really liked it. Before I was a streamer, I would carve a pumpkin for work because it's fun to do and it got to show some of my personality, and audiences really liked it. People that came in liked to see a little bit of holiday cheer. Same reason I would put Christmas ornaments up and Christmas lights up on stage. It's just a little thing that people like. So yeah, I've one that I've been doing this for a long time. Lasper says, I can't recall if I've ever carved a pumpkin. Oh, weird. I didn't in the past. In the past, we would just get pumpkins and put them out, and maybe I would paint one, put a face on it. But yeah, I've been doing this for quite a few years. I do love it. Yeah. I would hope that a couple of you would have done some carving. It's a fun time. I enjoy it very much. Also, all the pumpkin guts go in this bag, and then this bag goes out to the trash and doesn't go into a trash can here in the house because got to get this away from stuff as fast as possible. Can't have this near anything else. Cross contamination. This is not going to stay in the house. All right, so I'm just doing some scraping, just going along here. Got a little bit of a nest there. No, that's just stuff good. I am keeping my eyes out for anything that would look like rot or anything that would look like it's going to be a problem on the inside of this that would cause it to start to decompose faster. Because look, it's going to break down. We have a cold front coming here in South Carolina right now, which is great, but it could turn hot again in no time. And if it does start turning hot, then I got to bring this inside because I can't have this outside if there's going to be a lot of heat, because it will be a fucking problem. Because yeah, if we start getting a lot of heat, this thing will rot, and that's important for folks depending on your climate, your temperature. There are some people that can have these out October 1st, they can carve, and they will carve right away. And there are other people that have to wait until Halloween itself and then get down to business because they just can't do it sooner. All right, we still got plenty of guts here. We still got plenty of scraping left. We're not done on scraping. In the second hour, I will talk about some manga that I have been perusing. I will not be talking about any anime tonight. I know that is a weird thing for me to say, but we're not talking about anime because I haven't watched any yesterday or today. But we'll talk about it on Thursday because honestly, I think part of it is me and just my vibes right now. I'm just haven't been interested. It hasn't been the things I wanted to watch. And then also part of it is just this season isn't great. There's a couple things I think Faraway Paladin is shaping up to be interesting. I want to, I'm going to give it a few more episodes to see if it really takes off, but I'm interested in the world that it's creating right now. So I'm liking that. I don't like Aristocrat, the assassin thing. I don't really like it because I didn't really like the manga. But I think if we see these characters grow up more, because there is a lot of time dashes in the show, maybe I'll get more into it. And Banished, I would have said was my favorite show this season, but the second episode's animation took a huge dip in quality. And so, and not the action scenes. The action scenes were fine. It was the close-ups on the characters and their facial reactions, which is the part I like about the show. It is this slow little love story between two characters. And if they look really weird while they're blushing, then that might be a bad show. So, this sounds an awful lot like talking about anime, Pat. Okay. 1, busted. You're right. 2, I should have specified I won't be doing a play-by-play of anime episodes that I watched on Sunday and today. I will be talking broad strokes about anime. I should have said I'll be talking broad strokes about anime and my feelings about this season, but I won't be talking about the beats of Let's Make a Mug season 2. which is a show that I just chose on Saturday, Sunday, and today that I didn't feel like watching, although I do like it. Um, my number one complaint about that show continues to be it is a show about girls doing pottery, and most of the episodes are not about pottery. And I think that is a fatal mistake. And that is because it is paid for in large part by a city. So it is mostly about how great that city is. And that city just happens to be known for making ceramics and pottery. So I think it is fundamentally broken as a show. And now that we're in the second season, I'm like, oh, it's obvious how busted some of this stuff is, which wasn't as obvious the first season. Anyway, in the second hour, we'll talk about some manga that I've been perusing. One series I just started reading today, so I won't talk about it, but I'll talk about it on Thursday. Hey, there's a friendship anime about Gunpla, and I didn't know that. I don't know how I didn't know that there's a show about a girl that saw Gundam like on TV, but her mom was just like, this isn't for girls, so she never bought any Gunpla. And then like eventually she just happens to accidentally meet a 15-year like a high school girl who is into Gunpla, and it's about like them being into Gunpla together, and this like 30-year-old woman like finally getting into her love. And I've read 2 chapters of it. I'm going to read more, and I didn't know it existed. I knew there was Gundam manga, but I didn't know there was a manga about how Gundam rules. Also, it's set that like the first Gundam she saw as a young child was like a commercial for Gundam X, and I just love that specificity. So it means there's like not going to be any wing references, probably when it's set, because the first thing she saw, and then she saw like a moment of the Strike Gundam. But in the end of the first chapter, the girl that she meets, the high school girl she meets, has a box with the Ale Strike Gundam high grade, which I have on my shelf. That it is a kit that I have not built yet. And I was just like, wait, I got that. I have that. I don't know. It just tickled me. So I'm just starting to read that. I just saw that tonight. I was like, oh, okay. I gotta check that out, because that's right up my alley. All right, we're still scraping. This is a large portion of tonight's stream of any of these things is the scraping of guts, the removal of the guts. Trying to make it clean in here. Ooh. All right, we got to be careful that we don't go too deep in it. That when we're scraping here, just making sure, because we still need it to be structurally fairly sound, so that we can start cutting out chunks of it. You know, because when I just do my fun pumpkin, my silly pumpkin friends, I'm doing like eyes, a nose, a mouth, maybe eyebrows. It's usually just the mouth towards the base that I really need to dig into. But this, we're going to be taking out some sections of it. I have watched some YouTube tutorials to prep for this, to learn some techniques. And I will attempt to apply those techniques as best I can. The thing, what I don't have is a backup pumpkin. I don't have a backup pumpkin, which is scary. It's not frighteningly scary. It is worrying, because you never know. Like, you can guess that your pumpkin's going to be fine, but you don't know until you take the top off. Because it's like, because is this cosmetic or is this a sign of rot? Doesn't appear to be a sign of rot, but you never really know. And sometimes you'll get to the bottom of a pumpkin and you'll be like, oh, this is like gross looking. Uh-oh. And sometimes you carve into it and you're like, this is totally fine. You may remember my stream where I did 2 small pumpkins. Those pumpkins, because I didn't buy pumpkins until literally almost Halloween, because I wasn't going to do it that year, and then I decided to do an afternoon stream so I could have my fun. I bought 2 small pumpkins they're not meant to be carving pumpkins. Those are meant to be painted. So it was like actually kind of difficult to carve those. They were not thrilled with being carved pumpkins. It's kind of fun. And I hadn't run into that before because I never carved tiny pumpkins. It was kind of fun to do. But yeah, it was just like any place within walking distance of my apartment did not have any pumpkin they had that was a good size looked terrible and was like completely mangled, and you couldn't do a good carving of it. It would have been very difficult to do. So I didn't. Instead, I just went with 2 small pumpkins. That was a rough one for me. Worked out okay. I'm gonna get my knife back out here. Actually, don't know where here it is. And try to cut a little bit of this here. Just scrape. We're just scraping. We're just scraping. Just trying to. I'm just gonna run my knife in here and kind of scrape along. Try to speed up the process a little bit. We're getting ready for another turn and dump here. I haven't gotten everything into the bag. It's double bagged, but it's also fine because all like this newspaper is going to get thrown away as well. It's like not like I'm saving this newspaper. I'm going to say the cardboard is going to get recycled. Okay, so I was like, hey, you may remember that I have a couple model kits that I pre-ordered, and I was like, man, these are showing up in Target. Why are they showing up in Target? Why don't I have them? What's going on with the USA Gundam store? Turns out there's an exclusivity deal for these battle log, this new thing that that Bandai is pushing in the US with like an app and an anime thing. They're pushing. So there's exclusives to Target. There's like they're out early before they're in other places, which I didn't know, and is fine. But I pre-ordered them, and I'm not going to cancel my pre-order. So and go to a Target. Like, no thanks. They do have the entry grade RX-782, which I built on the stream, and is the first kit you should build if you want to get into Gunpla. They have a new paint, like a special colorway that has like elements of the American flag, and I think looks shitty. I think it looks awful. And then they have some of these kits. So who knows if this month I'll actually get the Barbatoris that I pre-ordered, and who knows if next month I will get the Live Lance. Who knows what numbers USA Gundam Store is going to get of those. I hope it's a good enough number that I get mine at a reasonable time. And then also, if I could get the Millennium Puzzle, that would be great. I just want that. That is now several months. Like it just didn't come out. I understand. There are just boats just waiting to unload in Los Angeles, and I understand that things are not great as far as that goes. And of course, the downside of doing pre-orders in a place in Florida is if they're getting stuff on a ship, then that ship is docking on the other side of the country. It has to come to them before we get it. But also, if you're just buying something from a store that's not a pre-order, then you just, then it doesn't take that long for it to ship to you. I bought some t-shirts from Threadless through a friend's store on Threadless, and it sat waiting to get picked up, the order, for like 3 days, and now it's been delivered to a sorting facility in Chicago and hasn't left that facility. Or it has, and my tracking hasn't updated. And I didn't pay extra for faster shipping, but I did pay for like 3 to 5 days, which does not include printing time, but printing time was like 5 days, and now shipping is going to be like forever, and I'm trying not to get mad, but I am fucking mad, because I would like these t-shirts sometime soon, please. So that's fun. There was an entire episode of Back to School. Oh yes, Back to School. That showcased how global logistics are fucked. Yes, I am aware of global logistics and how things are bad, and things were gonna get bad, and then they got worse because of COVID, and they're not gonna suddenly get better. And then also you add in the U.S. Postal Service getting demonstrably worse consistently, which is not an issue for that. It is an issue that could be worked on, but that is in some ways difficult to do. Um, uh, and you would like it to be fucking fixed. That would be great if it could be, but it's not gonna right now. So it's bad. Lots of it's bad. Um, I was just trying to buy some cool shirts that I used to own from my friend. I don't own them, haven't owned them in a while. Buy some shirts because he's got a kid, and he's a great dude. My buddy David. Things by David. He used to go by Seibei, Seibei. He has since retired that name, and now he goes Things by David because his name is David Murray. David's a great dude. You may know David's shit as he's the guy that made the garbage shirt that Jeff wears. And then he made the fake anime boy shirt that I have worn that you may have seen. My extra strong T-shirt. A wide variety of things that I have worn are David shirts. Is this a David shirt? This is not a David shirt. But I've worn many of his shirts, and they're excellent, and I love them very much. And I ordered two that I used to own. One in a colorway that I didn't have, and I had in a different color. So I'm very excited about a pizza-related shirt that he made. But I don't know when I'm going to get those fucking shirts. So yeah, Dan Riker, I have not heard this clip in question where he can't believe that his car has a computer in it. That's weird to me that he can't believe that. I mean, it's weird and it isn't weird because there are some things that Dan just accepts without question that you would be like, really? That's a thing that you're fine with? And there are things where you're like, I don't know what's going on. Hey, Jared, you just got yourself a gifted sub thanks to Harold, and now I'm up to 50 subs. Thank you so much, Harold, for that gifted sub. I can turn this off. And welcome, Jared. We've met in person. I know you. Welcome. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you enjoy having some cool gifted subs. Yes, let's start with Bear Cave Lego set. My one hand doesn't have pumpkin guts on it right now, so I can use my mouse. That's a clever thing. Only if you're streaming. This hand has only been holding the pumpkin, so I can use it on my when I gotta do stuff, which is great. He also didn't realize boats were still in use. I mean, look, I sort of get that planes are faster than boats. Cargo planes exist. Let's be honest. Stuff moving by train and stuff moving by boat does sound old as shit. It does feel like in the year 2021, we should be hitting low orbit. You know what I mean? Like we should be doing low orbit flights of cargo. Like really fast, just getting things where they need to go. Harold says, on that note, I'm going to go to bed. Have a good night. Catch you later. Thanks, Harold. Check out the photos on my Discord when this is done. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, Harold. Thank you for the gifted sub. Yeah, thanks for being here. Look, the idea that stuff on boats is how things get to places does feel old. It does feel like that is a thing that is like, what, really? So while I am surprised he didn't know that, I guess I'm not surprised that he is like flabbergasted by that. I think, I would say that there's definitely a percentage of people out there that didn't know how much of the stuff that they purchased was shipped on a boat until they got into Kickstarter backing tabletop and like card games. Because if you've ever bought a tabletop game, you had a delay, like Kickstarter tabletop game, you've had a delay due to the ship that it was supposed to go on was full of other things because other people had priority. Or there was a particular year where there were 3 ships that all of Kickstarter stuff went on. And one of those ships, the company went out of business. And it was a nightmare for everyone, just about everyone who backed Kickstarters that were due at that summer. It was very bad. There was a game that I backed where They were at a convention and they were supposed to have a booth, and then their stuff didn't arrive. They just didn't get their cargo. So they had to fly a certain number of them just to have something to sell. They had to like spend a lot of money because they were like, well, we can't get our money back for this booth, and we can't just be like, we kickstarted a thing, sign this information. So they were just like, we're going to take a loss. You know, we're going to lose money on all these just so we have something to sell. And so people were able to go buy the thing before the people who kickstarted it got their copies, which was a bummer that I also understand. I understood it. It was a bummer. It's a bad time. But yeah, I know all about shipping stuff because I have listened to my friends who have to fulfill things or who make things complain about boats. I have bought enough books for like webcomic artists through like fundraising things or pre-orders who are like, they just like, hey, we made it. It now exists. It's now on a boat. We'll let you know when that boat docks. If we're lucky. Otherwise, you might just like come out one day and find it. It's a lot. We're almost at the part where we can carve this pumpkin. I gotta scrape. I still have more scraping to do. That is one of the downsides of the big pumpkin carving thing. Is it's a lot of scraping. I don't have a bigger spoon than this that isn't a very like old, that isn't like a spoon owned by my grandma, like a serving spoon or a pumpkin, not pumpkin, an ice cream scoop. I have an ice cream scoop, but I was like, I don't want to use that. So I'm just using a big spoon here. But yeah, because all our other spoons are like big plastic spoons, and I was like, that's not what I want for this. Or they are very old and beautiful, and I have to go into the special cabinet to get those. And I was like, I'm not doing that for this. So I'm just using a spoon here. Gotta scoop up, scrape and scoop. So we didn't hear much about people's holiday stuff. I'll say this. Are we going to Halloween parties? Are we leaving candy out in a bowl? Individuals? Are we answering the door if kids come? What are we doing this year? Last year, nobody came, which is good. This year, people might come, and I just want to leave a bowl with some candy. That's all I want to do. I don't want to answer the door and bring candy out because there aren't a lot of kids in the neighborhood, but there are a few. I'm not going to go to any kind of Halloween thing, but I will if there's a Halloween Zoom party that someone's doing on like that Saturday or that Sunday. I mean, I'll go to that. I did that last year. That was fun. I still have my devil horns thing, which is an easy costume to throw on. There's a little bow tie I can put on too, which is not that easy because it doesn't really fit. But I probably just put those on, and that'll be my Christmas thing. I have a Santa hat. I can also just put the Santa hat on. That's not really great for Halloween. But yeah, let me know in chat if you're like doing stuff, and if you are, hey, enjoy, have fun with it. I'm not here to be like you know, because y'all have been great about not being like, hey Pat, you shouldn't go to a convention in December, because I'm making that choice, and I appreciate that folks are not like, hey, what the fuck, Pat? Which you certainly could. Happy Halloween to you, to Dustin. Thank you so much for subscribing with Prime. That's 8 months. Thank you for that. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego Scythe emote in the chat, and welcome back, Dustin. There, if you're subscribed, you can throw those in. Right now we're just carving some stuff. You can see in the corner here, for folks that I haven't said this in a while. We're putting Bowser on this thing. We're going to use a stencil. I've never done that before. I'm a little nervous about it, but I'm going to do my damnedest to get this. You can see in here a little bit. Hey, look, it's the pumpkin. There's still some stuff on the bottom here that I got to get up. But we're almost ready to start actually carving instead of scooping and scraping. We're almost there. Because I can also go back in here and scrape on my own. It's not as advised to do that once you've already carved the pumpkin, but I can be careful about doing it and do that later. but I do want to eventually get into the whole putting a face on this fucking thing. So let me get my knife in here. Trying to get some of this, scrape some of this down here. Don't want to scrape too much of the rim here because I don't want our lid to fall off. So I'm trying to be careful about that. Because this knife is kind of blunt. It's sharp, but it's mostly just like a good strong knife. And yeah, all right. Well, we're getting there. Get some nice in there. Let's see. Any other things I want to talk about? Look, I don't stand corporations. I'm not here to say like, oh, hell yeah, my favorite corporation. I do appreciate that Steam is like, hey, games that rely on or incorporate as a secondary fund thing or the primary fund, NFTs and blockchain bullshit, we're done with that. I think that fucking rules. And I think that's great that they were like, no, get out of here. I think that's awesome because I do think that shit sucks. There was the Death by Daylight thing going around where they're like partnering. And it wasn't even like exclusives. It was like if you buy these NFT, it was like basically NFT loot boxes where there was like buy these NFTs and there's a chance you can unlock some stuff that you could also unlock other ways. And it was like, fuck off. Get out of here. Again, I am morally opposed to cryptocurrencies, blockchain, bullshit, all NFTs, all of that stuff. I think it sucks. It is consistently a disappointment when people are like, hey, I'm doing this. I found a crypto that doesn't suck. And you're like, what? This is the non-douchey cryptocurrency that I partnered with. I'm like, what do you mean? What does that mean to you? Can you elaborate? DC Fandom is giving away from NFTs for signing up with their shit was annoying, so I only watched the trailers afterwards. Yeah. I did hear there was some Ultraman NFT shit, and they're not doing that anymore. But it's not because the fan reaction was, this fucking sucks. It was the company that was responsible for the blockchain NFT shit stopped talking to the licensee and clearly is a fly-by-night operation where they got in over their heads, or the plan was always to go. So they're like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore because the company is non-responsive. And it was like, oh, well, the result is good. That you're not going to do it anymore, but it's not for the right reason. It's for the obvious reason, which was, hey, we can't make money this way anymore. My Twitter must be curated. Got 2 retweets in a row from different people I follow dunking on different NFTs. I mean, that could have been me, because I did retweet my friend Grant Duncan on I think it was Grant. I can't remember. I think it was Grant Duncan on the choice for my anime list, partnering to do fucking Fist of the North Star NFTs, which is just like, oh, cool. That's not a post-apocalyptic world brought by environmental disaster story. Cool. I know that Genshin Impact people tried to do a Twitter follow event to get Elon Musk involved until their community convinced them to drop it with how mad they were. Yes, because every once in a while, Elon Musk is just like, I like anime. Which, like, hey, guess what? A lot of fucking people like anime. I want to be done with that. That's the thing I want to be done with music genres. With wrestling has such a fucking big problem with anytime anyone of any cultural impact is like, hey, I used to like wrestling. They're just like, oh, we'll come to a show and do this and do that. And it's the same fucking thing with anime. Like, look, Michael B. Jordan likes anime, and he made an anime, and we should be thrilled about that. And, like, Megan Thee Stallion likes anime? Cool, that's rad. But, like, we can be okay. Elon Musk saying he likes anime, 1, is obvious as fucking shit. Of course that motherfucker loves anime. Why wouldn't he love anime? That dude loves bullshit, I'm sure. Uh, uh, yes, yes. Also, Michael B. Jordan has had like a Naruto line. Like, yes, we had that. We got that. We love that. When football players are like, uh, shonen really powers me up. And I've got myself a My Hero Academia. I've got, a tattoo because I go plus ultra. We love that. But also, football players are in their 20s and 30s. They grew up on anime. It's fine. We can be psyched about that. I remember, I forget who it was, but somebody was like, some musician shared a wrestling clip, and Wrestle Twitter went nuts hoping that they would get into wrestling. And her response, uh can't remember who it was. So I apologize. Her response was basically like, "Hey, y'all need to calm down. I just tweeted a thing. Everybody fucking relax. That's okay." Um, but it was just wrestling fans just being like, "Oh, it's Nicki Minaj." Nicki Minaj was just like mentioned a wrestle thing because there was like something was happening in Black Twitter that was also wrestling related, and she was like, "This looks dope." And then people were like, "Please be excited about wrestling because we are." Now, as somebody who is involved in a lot of shit that people feel bad for liking, I can understand where it comes from. And I know that I am a person that has never apologized for my shit. I don't apologize for the silly things I make that I've produced. I don't apologize for my hobby. I apologize for the people in my hobbies being garbage, but I don't apologize for the things I like, which includes anime and video games and wrestling. I don't apologize for the ideas of those things, those genres of things, those styles of things. I do apologize for the people being garbage because some of them are garbage. Yes, WWE, also AEW is starved for that shit too. Everybody's starved for that shit. Like, they want it so bad. Every wrestling promotion wants it so bad. AEW is no different. They still want their MMA stars in the audience. They want their wrestling, people who are they want their sports people. They want that. They want the town mascot, the football mascot, to show up at the stadium that they have their show in. That they want that shit. They really do. They really, really do. They all love it and desperately need it because people that are in charge of wrestling, by and large, are embarrassed about the thing that they make, and so they want outside people to like it, so that they can say, "Hey, this person likes it. It's okay, right? It's all right." The thing that embarrasses me to no end. That's not everybody, and there are people now running wrestling promotions that aren't embarrassed about wrestling, but they're the minority of that. There's many more people who are very embarrassed by the thing that they make and do. And anime fans just fucking want people to be into anime. They're so psyched about that. They love it. They're so excited about that shit. And it's like this MMA person came out and they had like the villains from Naruto, like ring gear. And you're just like, I'm losing my mind about that. It's like, all right. It's like, yeah, I know. Anime's huge. It's okay. I will say, um, that I got. Oh no, I don't know. I gotta use my nose. I didn't get pumpkin in my nose, but I did have to scratch it, so I was using paper towel. That a comedian I really like got into an anime with her son, and they named their cat Charmy after the character Charmy from Black Clover. Uh, and so I replied when they mentioned Charmy, I replied to her saying, "I get that reference!" Exclamation point with an animated GIF of Charmy, and that hit me because I think that comedian is very funny. And it was cool that she was like, "I named my cat Charmy." But like, I'm not gonna be like, who fucking likes anime? It's this part. Like, no, that she likes an anime that she's watching with her son, and that's cool. And like, maybe I will ask that anime's U.S. voice actor to like say something, like say hi or something, because I know him a little bit. I know Dallas a little bit. I don't know Dallas that much. He followed me first. That's all I'll say. Um. Anyway, I just about got all these guts out of here. We're going to take a pause for the calls in a moment or two. I'll talk about ways you can support the channel. And then we will actually start cutting into this thing because I am almost ready to do that. I'm almost ready. I keep seeing more shit that I got to cut out, scrape out as we go. But yeah, we're almost ready to do this because it doesn't have to be perfect because I can go back in and do it. Anyway. Yeah, there was NFT shit. Speaking of wrestling, they went around again. This dumbass was talking about how he thought that Bryce from AEW was stealing focus, and I think that person doesn't understand that that Bryce is one of the best referees to ever do it. Because Bryce is a comedy wrestling referee, which is incredibly difficult. And I know that I'm biased as someone that ran comedy dirty. I eventually got rid of that. I will drink some water. Don't you worry. I do believe that I eventually got rid of. I did get rid of that mark there. Oh no, I didn't. It just was delayed. There you go. There's Nightbot. I didn't get rid of that. It did do. It just took a long time to do it. I don't know why, but that did take forever. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Yeah, Bryce is the best in the biz. In having big giant reactions and selling things. Because here's the thing, I know I'm biased, is that I ran several different comedy promotions that were wrestling focused. But look, Chuck Taylor used to have a move on the indie scenes where he would throw an invisible grenade down someone's pants, and everyone had to react like a grenade went off. And that's stupid. And the referee has to sell that and react to it like they're dead. And Bryce does that shit. Because Bryce is very good at reacting like nonsense is incredible. And that also carries over to actual cool looking wrestling shit. Like, you know, somebody does some kind of plancha and then Bryce loses his damn mind. He's very good at that. Also, comedy referees have to be very good at not seeing things way more than, you know, referees that do traditional matches. Like they have to see, not see. They have to have a lot more leeway because silly bits are fun. So I give a lot of respect to Bryce, and I'm glad there are a lot of people who are like, this person doesn't get it. They don't understand. And then there's a very funny photo because Bryce was the officiant at a friend of mine's wedding that was at a wrestling show. It was a real wedding at a wrestling show. And so that person got to be like, Fesh got to be like, oh, I think he said, you know, look at him in the center of the shot, stealing focus. And it was him officiating the wedding. That was very good. All right, I'm going to scrape more of this on my own time, but we're good. We're ready to get into the carving element of this. Got a big bag of gunk here. But we got to take a pause for the cause. I'm going to try to clean up my hands a little bit, and then I'm going to talk about ways you can support the channel. Let me get this over here. Oh yeah. Gross, gross, gross. Literally, my hand is pruned a little bit and is orange. That is how much guts I have had in my hand here. But we still got more to do. We still have to do the actual carving portion. It's up here because I'm going to have to put tape on this. So I'm going to try to get that cleaned up a little bit so that the tape will hold. If the tape doesn't work, I do have thumbtacks to hold in our paper. So we'll get that going and looking good. But first things first, we're going to take a pause for the cause. If you are currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave, the leg of the site, the emote in the chat. Let the people know. I'll take these off. That being a subscriber, you get these cool emotes. $5 a month cash money if you are currently a subscriber. You get our very cool emotes. You can use your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime, linked to your Twitch, you get that token. You can use that for somebody a month. And use it for me. And if you don't use it for me, use it for somebody else because that's just money on the table. There are various ways to support me in that you could gift a sub. We have a gift sub leaderboard. As you can see, the gift sub leaderboard has Aristophan and Harold at the top of there. You could gift a sub, put somebody over for that, which would be great. I also have a Patreon, patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, $3, $5, and a $10 tier. I'll get to this really fast because I do actually want to get into the carving portion of the stream. So we'll get into this right away here soon. But I do just got to go through my ads, my ad reads as they were. I have a YouTube channel, and you, of course, can subscribe to my YouTube channel for free, but I also offer memberships on my YouTube. So you could jump into my YouTube, youtube.com/PatBear. Speaking of which, what's up, YouTube? If you're watching this later on there, you can check all these links in the show description below the video. So watch that. But yeah, I got my YouTube channel. Lots of stuff happens over there, so you can jump in on that. And memberships, every Wednesday I put out a video, and you get to watch those on Tuesday. So tomorrow, probably at like 10 a.m., I will be sending out a video, which you can check out, which is a clip from one of the shows. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Direct donations. Everything I make through AdSense, through Patreon, through Twitch, and through direct donations, which I'm linking right now, goes to buying model kits and equipment. I got to keep buying model kits so I can build model kits. I have something for my wish list, the Destiny Gundam, which I will be building thanks to Raspberries 2 for buying that. I have an Amazon wish list. You can check that out. Anything you buy on there, I will build on stream before I build my other stuff. Because I have like stuff to build. I've got some Lego and some high grades that I'll be happy to build, but I got to build the stuff bought off my wish list first. So you can go there and check that out. Lego sets, inexpensive kits, expensive kits, kits that have been marked down and are on sale, kits that have free shipping through Amazon, kits that don't have free shipping that are coming in for long distances, stuff that's like, hey, why is that $40? I don't know. It shouldn't be, but it is. All kinds of different stuff you can buy, and some equipment at the bottom, because it's always nice to have a little bit of equipment that would benefit me, because sometimes people don't know what to buy. So you buy that. I'll shoot a video about the thing, a dedicated video about it on my YouTube, and then it'll jump the queue. That is my promise to you. Going in, USA Gundam Store is the alternative. You could buy a gift card. They send you the card in your email, and then you send me that through a DM on Twitter, because my DMs are open, and I will use that gift card to buy something from USA Gundam Store. That is my Amazon alternative, which is nice. Like 3 people have ever done that, but it's still nice to have that alternative. So I put that in there. Anything else that I need to share with you? I have a Discord. You can join my Discord. That's free. If you want to support me with freedom, you can jump into my Discord. I'm going to retweet my tweet here. Sorry, I'm just going to retweet the old that I'm streaming here, because I think it is fun to let people know that I'm carving. I'm just going to retweet my tweet, and we'll go back in there. Couple of video links for you to check out. Pat Bear's Anime Club. Every other Monday I put a video out. This current video is me talking about my favorite dubs. So you can check that out. I don't know what my next Pat Bear's Anime Club video is going to be. I have to shoot it this weekend, and I actually don't know what it's going to be. I have a couple ideas, but I haven't necessarily whittled it down. So in the comments there, you could say something you'd like to see. Always feel free to leave comments on YouTube videos, be it mine or anybody else's, because it's nice to see those. I even get a notification about them, and I check them out. Best of Build With Baer is my weekly series where I talk about it's clips from my streams, and this clip is me talking about how much I agree with Gentleman Arthur from Pokemon Fire Red, who is just like, hey, why are you here in my room? I think it's great. And I'll have a new one up this coming Wednesday. All right, so we're going to talk about some manga while I start trying to get this kit going here. Start taping stuff together. So we're going to talk about some manga, and we're going to get back to building. I'm going to drink a little water because I haven't in a hot minute. So load up the manga, go to the overhead, get the water going. All right, so we're gonna find our center here. I will turn this so you can see me do the work, but first I have to do it kind of on my own here because I need to line this stencil up how I want this to be displayed on the pumpkin and get it like where I want it to be. And then I'll get some tape on it and then I'll show you the rest. But I can't really do that from overhead. So I have to do this step. I'll have to do some of this step here just like this. So kind of line it up where I want it. And then I'm going to put some tape on it and then get it where I need to be. So let me just get some tape ready. And yeah, I got some manga to talk to you about. We're going to start with the Reincarnated Sword Saint wants to take it easy. Look, this is a pretty typical anime of this style in that it is a reincarnation who is just like, hey, I used to be great, and then but it was like a lot, and people were scared of me, and my skills are too high. So this next time around, I kind of want to just like chill and not have to do anything. But here's the thing. It says that, but this dude is the youngest knight in history. He's already an accomplished knight that goes in, like, helps people and does stuff. So even if he's like, I don't want to do this, he's still a knight, and he still accepts the mission where he goes to protect the next sword saint. Because she's in a school, and you know, there's rumor that people want to kill her. Because she's from a young age, she's been called like she's going to be the sword saint, and people are like, oh. And she's got a friend, and he's going to help them out. He becomes a teacher at the school at age 12. Did I mention that he's 12 while this is happening? So he's younger than them and clearly more skilled. And we don't get a lot of personality out of the kid, and I wish we got more personality out of him because he's the main character. I would like to like him more. Other than him being really strong, we don't get a lot out of him, and he is very strong. It is also kind of cool that there is like a samurai tries to kill her, and he is very fucking surprised to be killed. He did not see that coming, and that was kind of cool. Because it is over really quickly, and he is very fucking surprised. All right, so here's our face, and then we're just gonna go put this on here. We're gonna get this. Let's see. Let me just double check. Do I want to actually make this a little? I might want to make this a little lower. Yeah. This is where I want it. Okay. I have now decided where I want it. I am now putting some tape down that will hopefully stay where I want it, and I can get this where I want to put it. And now I just have to kind of get this head against here so that when I start making cuts, it's not weird. Will it be weird? It totally could be. I could totally fuck this up and not do this right. We're in uncharted territory for me right now, so we'll see. And in fact, this tape method, I might just have to do some tacks here as well. We'll try to get this somewhere how we want it. I do have some thumbtacks, which I thought might be a good idea. I was wondering if the tape will hold a little bit, but I don't know if it's going to hold too much. I might just want to do like thumbtacks into the skin of this. Anyway, the next manga I want to talk to you about is The Abandoned Hero is Going Home. This is another fairly typical summoning anime where our main character is considered to be not strong. In this case, there's no like, oh, you actually have a unique skill that didn't show up on our thing or anything like that. He literally just gets immediately abandoned, and then they try to kill him. Two guys get summoned. Only one of them could be the hero. And the princess is like, well, that's this dude. It's the handsome guy. It's not the handsome guy. It's our main character, who is not, he's just kind of plain. He's just kind of a plain Jane dude. Plain John. And so he's immediately kicked out. And then later they do try to murder him. It does not work. The princess who does the summoning is obsessed with her older sister, who is destined to follow the hero around. So the sister is doing this to mess with all the hero things so that her sister will stay with her because she's obsessed with her sister. It's not good. Uh, it's not interesting. It's boring. I'm not going to keep watching it. I was thoroughly bored with the series as soon as I started watching it. I was like, or reading it. I was like, this is not a good. This is not good. So, not a fan of the abandoned heroes going home. I do appreciate that he is very focused on figuring out how to get home, and I appreciate that because often a lot of these shows are like these stories are like, I gotta get home, and then they just meet some cool people, and they're like, okay, well this is my home now, and it's like, no, I don't think it is. Um, and then the third story, you may remember this anime and me loving it. It's a short series anime. It's a short manga series as well, like short chapters. It's called Love is Like a Cocktail. And you may remember me absolutely 100% loving the hell out of this series because I absolutely loved the show. I love the anime, and I'm enjoying the manga. It is about a a businesswoman. She's in advertising. She's no nonsense. She doesn't, she gets the job done. She's really respected, but she's not out there, she's a businesswoman. Her husband's a bartender. They, yeah, so they're a nice little couple. When she gets home from work, he makes drinks. She doesn't go out and drink with her coworkers because she is bad with alcohol because she becomes incredibly lovey-dovey, specifically about her husband and wanting attention, and it's very cute. And all of the drinks are real cocktails, and they kind of give like recipes and how to make them, and it's cute as hell. And their relationship is adorable, and their coworkers manage to like have better relationships because of them having a strong, loving relationship. It is just a cute, adorable series. I can't recommend enough. It's called Love is Like a Cocktail. I love the anime is available. It's on Crunchyroll. It is, like I said, the episodes are very short, and it is a very cute series that I recommend quite a bit. All right. I have gotten this mostly tacked into place. This tape is going to come up. So I am going to start putting tape on tape, which is a terrible thing to do, but this is the way to get this done, is to just tape this down. It might not be perfect, but it'll be enough for me to make some cuts here between the tape and this, and then I'll show it to you when we start going into it. We'll start with the eyes, and we'll work our way out, because like I said, I'm not going to cut all the way through, but the goal is to is to not have things cave in. And so we will wait on the outer parts till last, and we won't go all the way through until we've cut out all of this part, and we can do it slowly and carefully. So let's give this a go. I've now talked about all of the manga I want to talk about. I'm done talking about manga for tonight. Like I said, I didn't watch any anime. I will watch some stuff for Thursday because I do like a couple shows that come out on Wednesday, so we'll talk about that then. But right now, we're going to get to carve it. We're going to start with the eyes. So I'm going to use my X-Acto knife. Like I said, you can get some kits that have these little things that look like tiny little pizza cutters, and they'll just put some dots. So you could do a method where you do like little dots all along, and then some people even do this thing where they do all the dots, and then they take the paper off, and then they put flour on it so you can see the dots in flour. I'm not going to do that because that will make a huge mess. So instead, I am doing I'm going to carefully cut. I'm going to put some pressure on here, and I'm going to be cutting out. And I'm not going all the way through, but I'm going enough that I can see, and just kind of cutting along here. And I will just be doing that. And this is kind of getting some resistance here. So I have to be careful with this X-Acto blade and it not coming out. The dot method is also good because it's hard to do straight lines uh, on this kind of a thing. So, okay. It is hard to do straight lines on a pumpkin. So if you've got, take advantage of whatever you can to get this done. So we're almost done with one eye, which is great. I'm just cutting, putting an indent in. I can feel it go in. I can feel the resistance, which is not great. And there. So we did one eye, and I can even pull this out. There. And I can see what I've done. And I have not gone deep enough to have any issues, hopefully. Okay, now it's a part of the stream where I ask y'all, hey, what are y'all watching? What are you checking out? What are you doing? What's going on in the world? If you're joining any media, like I said, I've been mostly reading stuff. I have never watched anything of Secession, so I do feel out of the loop because people are going wild for the new season of Secession, but I have never seen it and have no real connection to that series, so I can't tell you anything about it other than people are real into it. Holy shit, are people really into it? But I have no connection to that series, so I cannot tell you anything about it. I have no clue what the session is about. I mean, I assume that it's bad people doing bad things, and hopefully, bad things happening to bad people, and that's what I assume it's about. Because if good things keep happening to these bad people, which I do know it's about bad people, but if bad things don't happen to those bad people, then what the fuck are we doing here, folks? Last person playing a bunch of Metroid Fusion. Okay, almost done with your 100%. I love that. It's like, I've been playing Metroid Fusion. That's just very funny to me. Dang. This holder is not loving... this is not loving going into a pumpkin. I'm going to see, maybe I could just use this to do it. And we'll just abandon... Yeah, I think we're going to abandon the X-Acto knife, and I'm just going to do this. I think we're just going to do that. It is, yeah, it is like, that's it, yeah, that is the predecessor to Dread. More DS9 from Dirty, and also watch the Lady D actress read Thirsty Tweets. Oh, Lady Dimitrescu, Thirsty Tweets, which gives me a good chuckle. Finished the MSG for Final Fantasy XIV and started House Slipper. House Slipper, I liked the house cleaning elements of it more than I liked the selling stuff on the market. I didn't enjoy that part of it, but okay. Our eyes should be deep enough for me to connect the dots and cut this out. So we're going to move on. We're going to do the eyebrows next, and I'm going to approach it from the top. But we're now going to move on to, not the eyebrows, but like the top of the head here. I need to watch the new episode of Ranking Evil since the first episode was really was weird fun. It is weird fun, yeah. I haven't watched this one. I watched a clip of it, but I haven't watched the whole thing. You're doing some wild stuff with Ranking. Yes. Yeah, I mean, I knew this wasn't going to be your typical, like, it was going to be an atypical stuff thing, even for Giant Bomb. But it is weird. It was weird to hear, like, Evil Uno has a vlog, because of course he does, but he's got a vlog, and it was very strange to hear him, like, promote Giant Bomb in the vlog. Like, the same vlog where he's like, hey, I'm doing toys, and I'm talking video games with Adam Cole, or I can't remember who he was talking, but he's talking games with people, and then he was like, also, I've got a Giant Bomb video thing. It's fun and weird. Very strange. Has Evil Uno been to Giant Bomb headquarters like the Bummer people? I don't believe so. I believe that Evil Uno came in as a person who likes video games and talked about video games that Alex, like, talked into, like, ended up as a person to do, maybe because other people had done it. Maybe I know that Evil Uno's wife likes Giant Bomb as well. So that may have been a thing where it's like, hey, you should do one of those like guest lists. But I don't believe he's. I don't know if I don't think he's met any of the people outside of. I'm sure he's met Dan, because Dan was doing the indie circuit. Um, but yeah, but like I don't think anybody else that's currently on staff has ever met him. Maybe Alex met him while Alex was a Giant Bomb. Like maybe they met, but yeah, uh, I don't believe Evil. Yeah, because Evil never made an appearance at GB East. I don't believe. Even when he was doing the indie circuit, I don't believe he ever came in. It's weird. If you haven't seen their episodes, the Albumer keep making jokes about Giant Bomb being a huge corporation with an HQ full of masseuses and meeting rooms. Yeah, I have not seen any of that content. Um, I don't have any animosity to anybody that's doing this. I This is a weird thing. This is a very weird thing. There's something about the idea that young New York comedians are doing stuff with Giant Bomb that like hits me in a weird place. Just the idea, like a lot of some of this new content is from people who are like people that I like kind of know doing stuff in the city, and I should have gotten used to that when Abby got hired, but I did not get used to that when Abby got hired, and I have not gotten used to that shit. It's weird. It's still weird to me that that is a thing that exists, and I should get used to it. I should be fine with it, but it's very strange. It's one thing to be like another games journalist somewhere. It's another to be like New York comedians are doing video content, and I'm just like, what do you mean? What? All right, so I'm just cutting out this thing. I'm just following the black lines. We're cutting this stuff here. The hard part comes when I'm going to have to go in and find all of this and really start cutting it out. But right now, we're just I'm just putting my knife in there, just stabbing it through. I was going to use the X-Acto knife, but the blade kept getting stuck in the, so I might use that for whatever. I might end up using it more, but right now I'm just using this blade because the knife kept getting stuck in the pumpkin and coming back out and wanting to come out of its holder, which is bad. They keep doing bits about naming games they know about to rile up commentators that complain about it not being about games. See, that I have. That, oh boy. So, hey, do you remember when what I'm doing right now would have been against the overall policy of Twitch? Y'all remember when Twitch was like, we're about games and we're not about other stuff. And so these talk shows need to go, and these cooking shows that are starting to go. This was years ago, right? So there's this big push that like Twitch is about games. We're not just in TV, we're legit. We're about video games. Like you need to be playing video games. So they have a contract, to have to like broadcast PAX stuff, right? So I got very concerned that I was going to deal with shit because 404ing it wasn't always about, it was about whatever I wanted to be about. It wasn't necessarily about video games. So I would like and like my guests weren't necessarily coming in with video game shit. So I would do segments in the early 404ing it days that were about video games because I was very worried that I was afraid that Twitch was going to be like, hey, don't have this on streaming because this panel isn't about video games. It's about the internet, but it's not about video games. So cut this shit out. I was very afraid of that. And eventually I realized, one, Twitch started broadening stuff because they did especially when they did the Bob Ross marathon and the Pokemon anime marathons and all that. When they started going heavy on that stuff, I was like, oh, all bets are off. This is fine. But I would get comments constantly for a very long time. There would be comments in Twitch, like chat comments, that people were like, where are the video games? What is this? Why is this what? This is just like memes and weird shit from the internet, which is true. That's what it was. All right, I'm now going to be doing the larger things here, and then we're going to hope that I can make these cuts and find them and follow them. Luckily, I do have the photo here of what it's supposed to look like, which I could use for reference, and then also, because when I take this off, this is going to be fucked. People on Twitch don't like memes. Yeah, I mean, really, it was people who were going to be mad no matter what because they didn't know who I was and they didn't like the show, and that's fine. Or, heaven forbid I had women on the show or non-binary folks, and of course they hated that. Or I had like people of color on it, or people that they didn't like, who were straight white dudes, but they didn't like them, or they didn't like the show, and of course they didn't enjoy that people they do like seem to be having a good time and agreed to be on it, which is a thing that consistently happens when people find folks doing things and they don't understand why it's happening. They're like, hey, I don't get why you like this because I don't like this, and I feel like I know you because I listen to you on a podcast and on videos, so I feel like I know what your personality is and what you like, and this isn't it, and I don't understand what's happening. I've gotten that a lot with people who are like any kind of name, where people are just like, I don't know what this means. I mean, I talked about this in the, I tweeted about this, and they're like, what's the dumbest tweet you ever got in trouble for? And it was somebody telling their fans to wish me a happy birthday. That was Liz from the legitimately hit at the time MTV show My Life as Liz, which was it was shot like it was documentary with real people, but it was scripted. It was a mockumentary, but had real people in their real lives, but like scenario based. And she had a lot of fans, and a good portion of them, like a decent enough portion of them, were very mad that she was wishing me a happy birthday because they didn't know who I was. And who the fuck's this dude? This dude he's not, at the time, wasn't verified. Who's this fucking dude on Twitter? Like, fuck off, this dude. Don't have a happy birthday. And it was the dumbest thing that people have ever gotten mad at me for. Usually when people get mad at me, it's because I talk shit about someone that they like. And usually I only do that when that person sucks. I got the most Tumblr hate in my life was people who thought that, they reached out to me on Tumblr because I wrote a thing about a fucking video game fascist man. Video games journalism fascist dude. And they were very unhappy that I talked shit about this dude. Me, a nobody, talk shit. And they were like, well, that can't stand. I base my personality on liking this person. So, can't have you, someone I don't know, talk shit about the person. Which I get and I understand. I get it. It was a whole thing. I don't regret it. And history proved me fucking right, which rules. It might not have. It might have. It actually ended up being a bad thing for me as someone that produces content at conventions. I could have been shooting myself in the foot by doing that, but I don't regret it at all. And I'm glad it worked out, because it certainly could have not worked out. It's like when Xbox used to feature a person on the dashboard each week in the Xbox 360 days, and those people would get a lot of hate because it was easy to send it their way. Yeah, because it was like, there's no reason to be mad at that person except they did a thing that's kind of fun, and you don't like that, and we don't know why. Because if it happened to you, if you got featured, you would be like, hey, check this shit out. This is so cool. And you would be like, why are people being mean to me? All I did was a cool thing. Yeah, it's weird. But I do think a lot of it does come down to people make decisions on like the people they like. They have this like belief in that they know what that person is about, and when something happens that changes that, or puts that into doubt, they get like this weird, like, no, you don't like talking about internet stuff with this dude because that doesn't fit the narrative I've built in my head. So something's wrong. All right. Uh, we've got stuff carved out of this. It's time to actually get in there and start removing it. And we're going to start with the eyes and work our way out, just like we did there, because that's that'll be the easiest thing to do. I mostly have this looking okay. I'm actually a little worried about this eye here not being quite right. But all right, now what we got to do is try to use the X-Acto and see if I can get in there. Just do long cuts, deep cuts. Now I'm doing deep cuts. Oh yeah, that's just gonna pull right out. Yikes. That's not good. That's not gonna work. Okay. That's a shame. I like using the X-Acto. I am gonna have to put a new blade on this anyway, because it now has pumpkin stuff on it. But all right, now we'll just go back to this. Gonna try to follow the cuts I already made. If it's not precise, if it's not exact, it's okay. I'm not gonna feel bad about it. Gonna try to do it right. Great. A chunk of it is out. We got our first chunk out. Now I'm just gonna go cut through so you can see through this. The back, pull out a chunk. Pulled out a chunk. Hooray. We got an eyeball. We did that. Let's do this this part here while we're there. That was cool. It was smooth. Great job, Pat. Do this. Then we'll move on to the other side. Again, I'm doing these small sections first because we're trying not to have any of this cave in. So we're just trying to get exactly the parts we need without any extra. So I'm trying to be very careful because I don't want this section to cave in, because theoretically this will be fine. So I'm just trying to, like, even if I have to chip away at the middle part here, I just want to remove this nice and easy, nice and quick, without me putting, like, I'm trying not to put much pressure on my hand here. Like, I'm putting light pressure on it just to keep it from rolling around, but I'm not like trying to go bonkers with it. All right. Through the top layer. Now I'm just going around. I apologize for camera shake. That's inevitable in this kind of a project. That'll happen. Apologize for that. You can also kind of cut in segments here. And then I can pull off there. And pull out some segments there. Great. Hooray. That's looking pretty great. Yeah, we got some time left on stream. Look, we're gonna finish this. I'm not gonna stop doing this and take it up on Thursday. So if it gets to 11, we'll go late. I'm not gonna worry about that. So don't worry, I'm gonna finish this. Like, that was the plan for the whole stream. Like, I have my AE86 standing by in case, for whatever reason, this didn't take as long as I thought it would, and we're ready, and I was like, oh, now it's time to switch gears. I would have just cleared this and switched gears, but I didn't actually think that, so I knew this would take a little while. All right, we got that chunk out. Let's see if I can get this chunk out. Great. Getting more comfortable with this. That is a problem, honestly. You don't want to get too comfortable because then you start making mistakes. So I do want to still take it slow while I'm doing this, but I don't want to have false confidence and then be like, because like I still have to get this piece out, and like I still have 4 pieces left. So even if though we've done 2.5, I can't get complacent because problem. All right, there, and great. Okay. All right. You can see, there we go there. Now we're going to do this part here. We've done parts of Bowser's head here. Got some of the horns looking like that. Now we're going to get, we're starting to get some of the horns in. That, and then we can get these segments in. Start to look more like we're making Bowser. Feeling good about that. Okay. Even though I thought about trying more advanced techniques to not cut out the chunks to get those fancy lighting vibes. So I have talked about, I mentioned that kind of like the beginning of the stream. I have no idea how to do that. This is my first stencil, and I'm kind of like happy giving this a shot. I have investigated. That is a thing. Maybe I'll start doing that, like the partial cuts to give you that like kind of that vibe that you're talking about. But I am not at the point where I am like ready to give that a shot. Uh, that kind of like, yeah, that the shallow cuts that leave like part of the thing, back exposed. Yeah, I'm not confident in that. I've never tried that, and I would definitely have to do that just on my own time. I'd have to just get a pumpkin and see if I could do that because I have no idea how to do that really. Um, that's very advanced. This for me feels very advanced, like using a stencil, trying to do this the way it was described, like to do this. Like I didn't really even nail this like as much, um, like I still think I'm gonna do an okay job here, but this is like not like this part isn't quite right. Like this top part that I did here, uh, isn't all of his face. Like I didn't do it perfectly to the stencil because I couldn't actually get that part to look right in my meager like trying to get this to look good work for the stencil. It's not like a 1-to-1. All right, so I got to get this crud out of here. Yeah, I'm gonna need like a carving kit. Like I'm already like wished I had the dot thing because I didn't do the dot thing. So we got the eyes. Yeah, and then this is like the part here, the cars, and it goes up. Then I guess yeah, it was like that. Like yeah, it's starting to look pretty okay. Um, Now we're gonna do this part. Should we do these and then this last? I'm gonna do this next. Hmm. I'm gonna do this last, I think. I actually think I'm gonna do this last, and I'm gonna do these large sections here because I'm afraid of like this part being structural here right now. So I'm gonna do these sections next. I mean, I am nervous about this part here. It's like this part isn't all of this is nerve-wracking because we look first time chat review. Oh nice. How do you do pumpkin? Very good job. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, Chaos. Um Yeah, thank you very much. We did a stencil. We had a that's the thing right now. Right now we're at the part where if this fucks up and caves in, that was an hour and 45 minutes where I'm just like, oh God, what did I just do with my life? Like, what am I doing here? So I am nervous about these next three segments, but I am liking it. I think the stencil method, I've never done it before. I would definitely do it again for future streams. I'll definitely play around with it. Try, next time we'll try to do something a little bit more complex. We'll go for something that that maybe takes a little more effort than what we did here, which I like. But okay, all right. So now we're at the point where I'm going to try to get out parts of it. I'm going to put my hand under here to hold this in place, and I'm going to try to take a couple segments of this out. Okay, so we got to cut through there. Then we're going to cut through some of this. Put a cut through this. We're going to do nice and easy. And we'll just, because I am very afraid of the structural integrity of the elements that I'm leaving here, like just starting to cave in. So trying to be very cautious with all of this and careful. We'll just do sections like this. I think that works out just fine. Do small sections, and then I will just clean it up. Nice and easy. So nervous. Because like the sides really make his face, right? Like the mouth, obviously, very important. But the sides also are important. I want to make sure I get all of this done right. Okay, so that chunks out. Great. Now, this chunk is out. And now, ooh, that went all the way through. Great, that's what I need. All right, now I just got to go and saw out this section here. Wednesday, again, my next stream will be on Wednesday. We'll be playing Jackbox Party Pack 8, the new Jackbox game. So we'll be checking that out. So come check that out here. We're not done here yet, but I feel like I can promote my next stream. That'll be fun. Thursday, gonna finish the AE86 with some panel lining and some water slides. We haven't done water slide decals in a hot minute, so we'll do some of that. And then, of course, we'll and then we'll do some new kit, the Destiny Gundam, bought by Razgriz too. Thank you, Razgriz. Okay. All right. Push some guts out of here. Okay. Just got to the point House Silver lets you mow your yard with a flamethrower. Yep. That game is kind of wild, kind of weird. That game's all right. Yeah. I definitely got a little bored with. Well, I do like that it has the option to turn bugs into glass if you don't want to clean up bugs. You don't have to. I think that's really nice for people. But yeah, I definitely didn't like the staging. I liked the clean up this house. That weird. I never knew that people stole radiators, but when I streamed that game, people were like, "Yes, people steal radiators," and I had no idea that was a thing that people did. I was just like, "What? Why would anyone steal a radiator?" Because a big portion of that game is just like, "Hey, they're missing radiators." All right, this feels so precarious. This section of this feels so bad right now. I hate this. This just feels like at any point this section could just cave in. And if it does, we're in deep trouble here. So right now we're just going to go in kind of section at a time, elongate. I'm actually going to cut like this. We're just going to section at a time, go through. I'm kind of like holding this with my thumb in here. Been working on that the Helter Skelter and Power Wash Simulator, and that's a neat vertical structure to deal with. Yeah, Lord Crescent, I really like how much you have to be like underneath and shoot up, and actually like use the shorter extensions for the most powerful washer to like get at parts of that, because like, you know, it's nice to have the long extension, but then there are some parts where you're just up too close and you got to get in there and deal with it. I do enjoy that one. I'm having an okay time with the plane. I think the plane is fine. That's as far as I got in there. I'm on the plane and Helter Skelter. I finished the bathroom, which was gross. Didn't enjoy that bathroom. Giant party bathroom. Was not my favorite. I guess the mouth might have been better starting place, so you have less flexibility to worry about. Yeah, I don't know. I enjoy it. I enjoy that part of the game. This is so close that I am so nervous about this. I know I'm a broken record, but I am so nervous about this portion of this project. I'm going to just doing like a chunk at a time here. All right, now I just have to. Oh, that's so precarious. Oh, this feels so bad to do. I knew it would. I knew this part would feel terrible because you just like it just feels so like it's gonna cave in at any point. I'm sure there are people that do this all the time, and that they would be like, "No, Pat, you just go for it. It's fine. The structure of the pumpkin will hold it together." Mouth might have been a starting place. You had less flexibility. Where you're talking about the pumpkin. I thought you were talking about the Helter Skelter because there was a face on there. Yeah, maybe doing this first would have been okay. Would have been the better choice. I don't know, but I didn't choose to go with this first, so I just have to deal with it. So, you know, it might have been. I might have screwed up. I might have should have done this first and then do the eyes last, but I didn't choose that. So this is what we're doing. Oh well. I am going to do this portion last. We're going to do this here, so we'll see. But yeah, too late to worry about that now. Damn straight. Just got to go for it. Got to do this portion here. And do like a cross. That. And do that. Great. I have kind of run out of things to say for tonight, but we're still going. So that happens every now and again, right? You just like I'm just like, yeah, ran out of things. Um, oh, I won't be doing it on stream, but I am going to be doing. Ooh, that came out in one piece. That's great. That makes me feel better. I am going to be doing my meatloaf recipe. My folks are going out for a couple days, and I got the ingredients, including the onion. I have basically everything I need to just to do my meatloaf recipe that I did on stream before. So I'm just going to do that. Looking forward to having the time to do that. Because it's been a while since I made meatloaf the way I like to make meatloaf. Um, I don't have fresh Parmesan, so I am going to have to use store-bought, which I don't like doing, but I will. And that means I will probably I probably do less than I did in my recipe and put more shredded cheddar cheese, which I have. I didn't put any shredded cheddar cheese on that recipe because it was the fresh Parmesan. So I will be doing more shredded cheddar like on top, along with the bacon and ketchup, and that will taste excellent. So I'm looking forward to that because it's been a little bit since I did that recipe. So I did it my way because my folks don't particularly love that recipe. So I usually do a version they like. And we have Worcestershire, which I have not used in my recipe in a while. I've been using like something else. I think I did steak sauce last time, so I'll be using the Worcestershire, which is great. And I got the 80/20 ground beef, which I do prefer for this recipe. No panko breadcrumbs. I'm just using Italian breadcrumbs, which is fine. Panko can be great. Regular can be great too. All right, so I am a little worried about this mouth section here, so I'm going to try to put my hand in here, keep everything together and stable while I saw into this a little bit, make my life a little better. All right. Okay. All right. We are so close to getting to the last section here. We're in the home stretch of the mouth. And then we will move on from the mouth to the side. Great. Feeling real good about that. Pull that out there. And of course, I'll clean this up after the fact. I won't do it on stream, but I'll go in and kind of clean up some of the sections. I'll use a different knife than this one. Not the X-Acto knife, but a kitchen knife, a paring knife. I'll just use a small paring knife. Realized today I forgot to put my veggies in the crisper when I was tracking down why I was starting to see gnats. Oh no. Oh, I'm sorry. That's awful. Well, I hope you've taken care of those gnats. Yeah, because I still have to go in here and do a fine tooth on the guts of this, and I got to clean this up a little bit. All right, we are done with this part of the mouth, or the mouth part. Now it is down to this section here. We got to get this done. And once this is done, we are done. So that's great. Yeah, hindsight being 2020, I probably would have started with the mouth. With that way, that I would have had the eyes and the horns section still intact, and that would have been probably less scary. This isn't that scary. I'm just gonna go in again. I mean, this part's not the best because I don't have a lot of section here, which is why I did the mouth, because I didn't like doing this part of the mouth here when this was out. So yeah, hindsight being 2020, I would have done the mouth first and like maybe the eyes and the horn part last. But c'est la vie. I mean, if the eyes caved in, it would have been an immediate no-go, and that would have been fine. I would have had to just redo everything. So I'm glad that that worked out. Again, I'm just cutting into this deeper, making this all look good here. And then I'm going to just do some sections and try to get out the top layer, and then I'll get out the bottom layer. And I got my hand now here inside the pumpkin to kind of catch whatever's on, and then just I'm going to be really careful about this section because this is the part that could collapse and cave in. And obviously I don't want that because we are so fucking close to being done. So I'm trying to be extra careful about this section, if not the whole rest of it. All right, let's get this part up. Okay. We got some of this out. I like both want this to be over with because it's, you know, it's 11 and this is stressful. But I also don't want to start going wild with it and fuck this up and then be like, this doesn't look right. I still want to nail it and have this be the thing that it's supposed to be. This is really like helping identify the shape of Bowser. What I want is somebody to see the photo and not read the text and be like, oh, cool, Pat made Bowser. Like, obviously, that's what I want. You know, I want it to be recognizable. I want my parents who don't know Mario stuff to be like, oh, that's a thing from Mario, right? Even if they can't tell me it's Bowser. I don't know if I'm going to get that. I think I'm going to get, that looks great, which it does. Don't get me wrong. It does look great. But yeah, I don't think I'm necessarily going to get that. When I post this tomorrow on Facebook, I want people to be like, hell yeah, you made Bowser. Or like tomorrow on Facebook and Instagram, when I don't put a caption on, I just put like pumpkin's done. I want people to know and say something in the comments. Because I will be spending some time tomorrow cleaning this up and trying to take a photograph of it outside. The gamers will know. Indeed. Oh, I'm not worried about the gamers not knowing what's up. But yeah, I'll have to use a different paring knife than this one, got a sharper one to kind of just clean it up. Oh, so close. All right. I've just got like so much pressure. I'm just putting so much to try to relieve the pressure of this piece so that I can get this out. But I can feel the whole thing moving as I do it. All right. Okay. Whew, that's a big chunk that had to come out of there. Okay. I really do think this is the way to do it, just like doing sections and doing like half each time. I think that is really helpful, even if it's just a placebo effect of being helpful. Okay. All right. This is the last hurdle. The last hurrah is this section here. Nice and easy. In fact, let me just do this. That portion out. Okay. All right. Nice and easy. Also, don't stab myself with the knife. Put this part out here. Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay. It's Bowser. I fucking made Bowser. Like I said, I gotta clean this up. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I'm gonna do a nice clean of this. Uh, Wipe this down. Gonna have to, you know, get in there with a good little knife, clean all this up. It's got some jaggeds and such. And I gotta clean up the inside because the inside's not perfect. Check out this part here. But this looks pretty great. I'm pretty damn pleased with this. I think this looks pretty rad. Like I said, yeah, it still needs like some shaving on the back. I'm gonna have to like really hold this in place and really just clean this up with a sharper blade, especially like in here, and get in here without like having these bottom teeth like fall out because that is an issue that I have to be careful of. That could be a problem. But yeah, I got to clean up around the eyes and stuff, and clean up around here, and just kind of make it, make it look good. But we are done. We are ready to call this a pumpkin, a jack-o'-lantern, a Bowser lantern. So I'll take a photo of this and post it on the socials. But yeah, we carved Bowser. Bowser has been carved. I'm very happy about that. I'm also fucking relieved that I did it and it's done. Holy shit. I'm like so happy this is over. God. That did get very stressful at the end. So, okay. We're gonna raid. Thank you, Aristophan. And thank you, Lashbrook. We're gonna raid. Don't have a lot of friends with us by the end of this. I'm gonna ring the bell. Because I did go over my time. Self-imposed, but we are going to go raid. I'm going to go see who's doing stuff out there that we want to go hang out with. Thank you all so much for being here. Thanks for sticking with it till the end, where I ran out of things to say, but still wanted to talk and complete this. Who's doing things that we like out here? Who's making things happen that we want to go hang out with? We're going to go hang out with, let's see. Ray FK, our friend Jordan, is playing Forza Horizon 4, which I didn't know Jordan played those games. So we're going to go raid Jordan. So thanks so much for coming on the stream. I hope you have a great rest of your night. We're going to go give Jordan a raid. So come along on this. Thanks for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Oops, that went away. We're going to try that again. I don't know why that stopped working. But we're gonna give Jordan a raid. Now we can do it. So thanks for being here. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for all your support tonight, and I'll see you on the next Build with Baer. We'll play Jackbox. Bye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.